This isn't just the story of a city being built. It's the story of a revolution, of dignity, of one man's refusal to let his people remain invisible. This is the story of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a 35-year-old soldier turned president, who's doing what most leaders only talk about, putting his people first. While the world looked away, he picked up a hammer. While others called displaced families a burden, he said, "They are my responsibility." In Burkina Faso, a nation battered by violence, corruption, and foreign control, millions of people lost their homes. No aid was enough, no shelter permanent. And yet, out of silence, something began to rise. A city, not just walls and roads, but hope, built in brick and stone. No announcement, no press conference, no Western permission, just local workers, military engineers, and a vision to give the displaced not a tent, but a home. More than 12,000 homes, with roads, power, water all in place. No UN signs, no foreign consultants, no donor strings attached, just the people and the state working as one. In Traoré's city, displaced families are not seen as statistics. They're seen as citizens. They don't rent. They own. They aren't managed. They're respected. Widows, disabled individuals, war veterans, and children forced to become parents. They are prioritized. Even those with no official documents, no ID, no birth record, they are verified through local leaders and oral testimony. In a world that treats paperwork as existence, Traoré treats humanity as proof. But this is about more than housing. It's about restoring what displacement stole: identity, dignity, belonging. When a man can't give his family a roof, he loses more than shelter. He loses himself. This city is the response to that fracture. A psychological restoration. A place not of charity, but of citizenship. And this city isn't a return to the past. It's a leap into the future. Solar panels shine under the Burkinabe sun. Electric buses glide silently through clean streets. Pipes, meters, and infrastructure hum quietly because they work. No gas, no smog, no waiting on aid. This is what cities look like when built from zero. Without colonial blueprints, without IMF restrictions, without the burden of approval. Everything is local. Bricks made from compressed earth. Engineers trained at home. Water systems that reuse gray water to grow crops around the city. The city feeds itself. And the internet? Not from foreign telecoms. It's a public-owned fiber grid, designed, installed, and operated by Burkinabe hands. Sovereignty in every circuit. And what's most powerful? This city wasn't designed in offices or by foreign consultants. It was shaped by memory. Before the first brick was laid, planners asked the displaced, "What did home mean to you? How far should the school be from the mosque? What matters most to rebuild your life?" The answers built the blueprint. Even governance is revolutionary. Every neighborhood elects its own council, with seats reserved for women and youth. Mobile legal clinics uphold justice. Customary law merges with modern systems. This isn't Paris. This isn't Dubai. This is Burkina Faso, rooted in reality, aiming for the future. But now, in quiet rooms across Brussels, Paris, and Washington, there is unease. Not because they don't understand what Traoré is doing, but because they do. A city built without their money, without their consultants, without their permission. It's not just a construction project. It's a threat to the global system. Because for decades, Africa has been taught, progress comes after permission. Development requires debt. Change must be approved by outsiders. But Traoré ignored the script. No loans, no audits, no best practices from Western think tanks. Just action. And that action is now a blueprint. What if Niger follows? What if Chad, Mali, or Nigeria build cities without Western aid? What if the displaced are housed without the World Bank? What if power is solar and food is local? The aid industry would panic, Because this city isn't just sovereign. It's developmentally sovereign. And that changes everything. Young Africans are watching. This isn't about real estate. It's about proof that Africa can build its future. That leadership means bricks, not just speeches. That dignity doesn't need a donor. That we don't have to wait. And while the West stays silent, others take notice. China praises the model. Russia sees a partner. Turkey quietly admires. But Traoré has chosen no side. Burkina Faso is nobody's project. And that neutrality, it's becoming a model of leadership. So we ask, is this just a city? Or the beginning of Africa's Great Reset? Already, other nations are listening. Urban plans are shifting. Blueprints are evolving. People are demanding cities built for them, not for investors. Because for the first time, a government didn't wait for permission. And in doing so, Traoré may have started a movement. Would you live in a city built on dignity, not debt? What if every African country built like this? Who would try to stop them? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more stories that highlight Black excellence, hidden history, and revolutionary vision. Because sometimes one city can change everything. And now, that realization is spreading like wildfire. It's no longer just about Ibrahim Traoré. It's about the idea he represents. That leadership isn't age. It's courage. That dignity is not a luxury. It's a right. That a poor nation can still have rich values. You see, the old world order relied on a single myth. That African people were too disorganized, too divided, too desperate to stand up for themselves. That myth is dead. Because today, there's a man in fatigues standing in the presidential palace who refused to be bought. And he's not whispering. He's shouting to his own people, "You are not broken. You are not beneath anyone. You deserve power, wealth, and peace, just like any other nation. To the West, you've extracted enough. Now we rebuild on our terms. To Africa, don't wait for saviors. Become your own. And to the corrupt, run. Your time is up." But here's the most powerful part. He's not doing this from a throne. He's doing it from within the chaos. Terrorism still ravages the north. Food insecurity still haunts villages. Infrastructure is still in ruins. But instead of hiding behind excuses, Traoré has made those very struggles the front line of his mission. Where there are no schools, he sends mobile teachers. Where hospitals were looted, he deploys makeshift clinics. Where there's no electricity, he introduces solar cooperatives. He's not waiting for things to be perfect. He's building in the middle of the fire. And that is what true leadership looks like. Not a polished face on a billboard, but a man standing in the storm, telling his people, "I won't leave until we've won." And winning doesn't mean he stays in power forever. In fact, he's made it clear. He doesn't want to rule forever. He wants to build a system where no single man can ever destroy the country again. That's why he's investing in local governance, youth councils, participatory budgets. Because he knows a true revolution outlives its Leah.